Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl KIE RASHON. Welcome back to another Beauty Monday. So we're going to continue with this look here, but today is going to be foundation focused. So what is my base? Alright, so starting off with my primers, I'm using the POREfessional primer to go around mainly my T-zone area. So I know I keep showing like around my face, but I'm using the POREfessional in my T-zone area, so mainly like my nose, a little bit onto under my eye and my forehead. I try not to use a lot of this stuff because it can give off a white cast if I use too much, so I have been very minimal with this product. I'm now going to go in with the Maybelline Master Prime. This is the blur and pore minimizing primer. It is clear, so when it comes out you don't have to worry about that white cast or anything like that. Alright, they saw it, let's go. So I'm going to put that on the rest of my face where I didn't put the POREfessional. Okay, next up I'm going to be using my CoverGirl TruBlend Matte Mate Foundation. This is in the color D50. This is about 3 pumps on my hand. This is not a full coverage foundation, as you guys know. However, it is buildable, but I don't use a lot to have it looking like cake or anything like that. This is a serious, like, flawless finish, true, like, to your skin foundation. Oh crap, I forgot to put on my concealer. So I have been concealing under my eyes and around my mouth using my Makeup Revolution concealer in C13. So I totally forgot I need to do that, so that's what I am doing now. I'm just going to take my sponge and blend that all in. Now I'm going in with the flat side of my sponge to blend in the rest of my foundation. This is a Real Technique sponge. I got it from Walmart. I think it was like a pack of 6. So I needed some more foundation, so I'm going in with, I think, like 1.5 pumps to put more coverage on my face. I'm gonna pat that all in, blend it in. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but those airplanes flying near our house. Alright, so time to conceal. I'm using the Makeup Revolution concealer in C13 first, and then second I'm going to go in with my Colourpop Dark 46 because it's a little bit lighter than this one. And I'm being very, very liberal with the product near my inner eye and close to my nose, and then kind of sparse on the outsides. You guys see my camera moving. Again, my kids. Oh, there they go. There they go. Alright, so now I'm just going to wait till that dries down a little bit before I start to blend it out using my sponge. One thing I have been doing differently since doing this more flawless base is starting around my nose and then at the bottom of the product under my eye, and I do pretty much the inner corners last. I realized in doing that, when I was doing it first, it was basically taking most of the product off, and I couldn't understand why my eyes kept creasing. Well, I feel like that's the reason. I feel like I found out why. So this has been working for me, and this is what I'm going to continue to do until I find something better. I know you guys see this video is really long, but I wanted to go in depth with how I get my base now because I had a lot of questions as to what I was doing differently So now you guys can see it in not so much real time, but less chopped and screwed. I just want to make sure this is blended down. You could use a brush for this step, but since I already had the sponge and I didn't feel like going to get my brush, I've been using the sponge and it was just fine. Now I'm going to take the flat edge of the sponge, which I use for my foundation, and just blend around those edges so it's not harsh. I'm not adding any additional product to the sponge. And now I'm going to go in with my Colourpop concealer in dark 46 and just go along where my bag lines are under my eye, on the side of my nose, and down the bridge of my nose. And as you can see, I'm not using a ton of product, just a little bit to highlight. So I know in some of my recent videos you guys have seen, like, I would put on the concealer and blend it out, and then you would see me jump screen to another part where I'm putting on concealer again. That is this step. I'm paying very close attention to the inner corners of my eye, because as you guys can see, I have those bags there and that line is just irritating. So to help that, I try to double up on the concealer. I've also learned that this setting powder, as you guys know, the TooFaced setting powder, is a lot better when you don't use a lot of it. So I use very, very little setting powder to put under my eyes, and it makes all the difference. I was using way too much. When I do my makeup fails for the year video at the end of this year, you guys will see what I'm talking about. I was using way too much setting powder and I was looking super cakey, but I thought I was slaying, and y'all was just amping me up. Y'all are some real ones for that, because that was some cakey situation. So I'm paying very close attention to, again, the inner corners of my eye. That's like my focus. I want to lift my eye up without making it look like I had plastic surgery. So that setting powder is just going to sit under there. I'm not going to blend it out. That'll be the last thing that I do on my face. I'm now going to go in with my contour shade. This is the Makeup Revolution Concealer in C15. I'm going to put that under my cheekbones, across my forehead, and under my jawline. Oh, and also down my nose, well, the sides of my nose, to kind of snatch it up a little bit. I initially used to do this process when I did the other my highlight concealer, but I have learned that setting my concealer first, my highlight concealer first, helps my under eye. So I do this after that, and it works the same for me. Now I'm going to use this brush that I got from Ulta to blend out that product. I am really paying close attention. I cannot talk today. I'm really paying close attention to my cheekbones. So I'm pulling my cheeks in and snatching that product right under that cheekbone to give me a more chiseled look. So even with someone who got some weight in her face, I can look like I'm 110 pounds soaking wet. I know it looks like I'm beating my face with this daggone brush, literally, and I will say I'm, jabbing at it pretty hard, but I'm not in pain doing it. I'm not hurting myself. I'm just making sure I'm getting that product in my skin because this concealer does dry down really fast. At least for me it does, especially with this color. Now I'm just going to use the same brush and I'm going to tap blend this product down my nose, because I have learned if I try to swirl this brush around or move it any more than a tap, it will spread the product too far and my nose becomes, really, Emery? I will spread the product too far and my nose becomes really muddy looking and it's just not the business. So I'm taking that same sponge that I used for my foundation and my concealer, no extra product. I'm just going to go in and gently tap and blend the rest of that product into my nose. I'm doing this to kind of blur the harsh lines. I will tell you, I could have did a little better on the blending of my nose because it does stand out a lot towards the end, but I still like it. It still looks good. Just learning all the time. I'm going back in with a little bit of setting powder, same powder from TooFaced, and I'm putting that on the sides of my nose. Alright, now time for some powder contour. I'm going to use the Black Radiance True Complexion Contour Palette. This is the medium to dark palette, and I'm going in with that contour shade, and I'm just going to go over where I had the C15 concealer. So cheekbones, forehead, jawline, a little bit on the nose. Make sure I get that chin. I don't have so much of a frog or double chin anymore, but you know, I still got a little something down there. Mama been losing her weight, so it's going away. It's disappearing. And as you guys can see already, my face is coming together. Now I'm going to go in with the Laura Mercier translucent powder in medium deep. I believe it's medium deep, the darkest one they have. And I'm just going to carve out my lower jawline. Really? Y'all really want to do this right now? Y'all really want to do this right now? I'm sorry, y'all. So I'm going to take my brush and just brush that product off. I don't leave it on too long. I initially was using my setting powder that I use under my eyes. However, that is just too light for my jawline. So this medium deep shade is perfect. Then I'm going to go in with my Black Radiance setting powder or finishing powder and just put that all over my face. And I'm going to use that same powder to brush off the excess setting powder under my eyes. I told you guys I waited to do this last because I wanted my eyes to set perfectly, and it did. It worked. I don't know if I'm going to be able to cut out this little background noise of my daughter yelling and my dog's barking. So if I don't, I'm sorry in advance. Alright, now time for some highlights. This is the Black Radiance highlighter, not highlighter, bronzing powder in Ginger Snap. This powder is bomb. It's a pressed powder, but it is amazing. Instead of bringing it all the way down on my cheeks, I have now realized if I put too much product on my cheeks, when I go to smile, my cheeks look super highlighted and like they look like little balls on my face, and I don't like that. So I have only been taking the product basically high in my cheekbones and a little down, but not past the center of my eye. I'm also going to put some of that pressed powder or pressed bronzing powder on my nose, also on the top of my lip and my cupid's bow, and my chin and my forehead. But I'm lightly dusting it. I'm not pressing super hard on my face because too much is just literally too much. I'm doing just enough to make it look like I'm bomb. What am I talking about? I don't know. But I'm doing just enough to get the point across. I'm using a smaller brush to put that now on my nose and the tip of my nose and on my Cupid's bow, just to kind of give it a more, positional direct highlight. Now I'm going in with the Makeup Revolution Sun Kissed powder in Peach Kisses, or it's not a powder, it's a highlighter. This is in Peach Kisses, and I'm doing that in the same areas. So Cupid's bow, nose, tip of nose, and my cheeks. Now I'm going to mold that or melt that all together using my Morphe Continuous Mist Setting Spray. This stuff is bomb. I wish I would just put it in a perfume or something. Go ahead and do that, Morphe. I'm for it. Woo! And here we go with the finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it was a long one, but just look at that base. Like, you ain't gonna be able to tell me nothing. I'm getting better, y'all. I am getting better. Yes, face. Yes, face. No lines. No lines. I love it, guys. Oh, Lord. I'm crazy. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I will see you guys very, very soon. Love ya.